So now this whole fat shaming thing that started the whole argument from Ryan came from this guy, the husband. So he freaks out. Shame on this dude. Shame on this dude.
What I'm thinking is what Brian Friedman is going to say is, so you were upset that you say your wife was harassed. And he's going to say yes. And he's going to say, yet.
Oh, yeah, my family. I'm sure his family means the world to him. But the whole thing, again, it's so manipulative.
Exclusive footage from Blake Lively and Ryan. Reynolds' most recent public appearance. Footage that Hollywood. Insiders are calling the beginning of the end. Did you catch the moment when Blake pulled her hand away from Ryan's touch? Body language experts say that wasn't an accident. According to sources close to the couple, what we're seeing on camera is only the surface of something far deeper. In the next few minutes, I'll break down what's really happening behind those polished smiles, including the shocking career ultimatum Blake reportedly gave Ryan. An ultimatum that may have pushed their marriage to the breaking point.
2 weeks before filming began, and less than 4 months after Miss Lively had given birth, Miss Lively was humiliated to learn that Mr. Baldoni secretly called her fitness trainer without her knowledge or permission and implied that he wanted her to lose weight in 2 weeks. Mr. Baldoni told the trainer that he had asked because he was concerned about having to pick Miss Lively up in a scene for the movie, but there was no such scene. So that's the allegation. Now let's go through this again. She was humiliated to learn that Mr. Baldoni secretly called her fitness trainer without her knowledge or permission, and yada, yada, yada. Okay, well, then why did you introduce him to him, your friend, celebrity trainer, who would later become Baldoni's trainer as well? Baldoni and the trainer start collaborating with the trainer, delivering his workout program on the 22nd. Hey, blank, I think I know who this is. Justin Baldoni here, new friend of Blake's. We are working together on a film. I'll be headed your way for the first week of March for 4 months. Great to meet you, Justin. Happy to discuss. Let's jump on a call. This changes the context tremendously. Now, in her complaint as well, I just want to make sure we put it all out there. As they say here, later text messages, Mr. Baldoni referred to Miss Lively's trainer as a damn spy and sought to plant stories to portray his concerns as being motivated by his lower back pain. She fails to mention the most of it. The reason he thought that is because this trainer that Blake Lively, this guy allegedly, who Blake Lively suggested Justin be his trainer, was Ryan and Blake's clear friend. And like celebrity trainer who was clearly aligned to them. So now this whole fat shaming thing that started the whole argument from Ryan came from this guy, this trainer who's clearly closer to them and wants them and showing them off, pinning them all over his Instagram to get other celebrities so he can get more people to join his gym or whatever. This is where it all came from? Through hearsay, through that? And then just to focus a second, again, allegedly, if this guy is the one who did it, and you're telling me your client now, Justin, who's become your training, is talking to you about concerns or whatever. Who knows how he asked it, or if he was just brought it up in passing, like, oh man, I got this big lifting scene that I got to do, and I don't know how much she weighs. Like, can I lift that much? There's a million ways you could say that are not offensive to like two dudes talking, where he's not trying to shame her at all. But the way that the trainer then goes and tells Ryan and Blake can be misinterpreted a million different ways, because that's hearsay, whisper down the lane, you know what I mean? And so that's how this all stemmed. This just annoys me to no end. This is incredibly frustrating to learn that's what this is all about. I can't even add to that, mind you. Actually, here it is. I want to make sure we go through this. There are exchanges where he's like disliking her losing weight. Only 20 to go. Thank you for your friendship. You mean a lot. Your friendship has gotten a lot. She's like, disliked it. You don't need to use 20. You don't need to lose 20 pounds, Blake. What are you talking about? You're fine. And as they keep going, there's more text messages where Blake talks about, and we've talked about these before, but now in the context of it, how it's her job to get in shape. She requires a certain aesthetic, as this role does. As much as I'd love to not think about it, that would be irresponsible and impossible, because it's unrealistic to not acknowledge what I need to do. That how she and Ryan treat these movies and shoots as athletic events. It's part of the job. It's one I knew and part of. It's great, yada, yada, yada. I'm very, very appreciative, not just in my experience now, but also healing from experience past. So thank you. We're going to kill it. But she says literally, your voice memo meant a lot. It's deeply appreciated. You are everything you promised to be as a collaborator. Thank you. So this is the guy who's fat. She's learned later he fat shamed her everywhere. Are you sure? Or was your trainer maybe wrong, Blake? Like, It is insane. And even he says, look at this. Whatever, please, whatever, you look amazing. You will look amazing. Anything you are insecure about, we will walk through and get creative together and make you comfortable. I just don't want you to stress about your body. It's the last thing you need. How could he be more clear that that's not important to him? I'm sure it's like, yeah, of course we got to look good. That's important for the role. Let's not be fat schlubs in this role. Let's make sure we've done our best. That is part of acting. It is. And it sounds like he's being incredibly respectful about it. I don't understand what this is all about. He'd often find back channel ways to degrade me is what this is. And it does sound like this dude was a spy. Like, shame on this guy. I would never want to work with this guy. He's going to go rat you out to anybody if you're just talking in the gym about, concerns while you're deep in a workout and literally about how much can I lift, a million scenarios where you could talk to your trainer about that worry. And he's going to spin it to the girl's wife, the husband. So he freaks out. Shame on this dude. Shame.
They say a picture is worth 1,000 words, but body language can reveal even more. On the surface, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds keep flashing their signature Hollywood smiles. But beneath the red carpet glamour, something feels off. Our body language experts have combed through footage from their last 3 appearances, and their findings could shatter the perfect couple illusion. Let's start with the Deadpool and Wolverine premiere. As photographers called for the pair to pose, Ryan placed his hand on Blake's lower back. Watch closely, Blake stiffened and shifted away. Subtle, yes, but unmistakable. That's distancing behavior, explains celebrity body language analyst Maria Torres. In healthy relationships, touch draws partners closer. Blake's reaction did the opposite. The contrast is striking when compared to earlier years. At the 2018 A Simple Favor premiere, the couple couldn't keep their hands off each other, sharing laughter, kisses, and lingering gazes that radiated genuine connection. Fast forward to 2023, and Torres notes we're now seeing performative affection, posed hand-holding that ends the second the cameras stop flashing. Perhaps the most telling moment came at this year's Met Gala, when Blake pulled her hand away mid-photo op. Torres points out her turned shoulders and guarded stance as classic signs of emotional withdrawal. Ryan's own shift is equally revealing. Once the protective partner who instinctively shielded Blake from the crowd, he now stands beside her with carefully staged proximity, close enough for optics, but with noticeable space in between. Other patterns confirm the distance. Blake crossing her arms near Ryan, the disappearance of those whispered asides they once shared, and arrivals choreographed for the cameras, followed by quick separations. Then there are her micro-expressions, split-second flashes of tension before her smile hardens into what experts call a social smile, polished but not authentic. Taken together, these aren't random missteps or bad days. They're consistent signals of a relationship under heavy strain. And sources close to the couple say those cracks on the red carpet connect directly to deeper conflicts playing out behind closed doors.
They ran into each other. They're both single, ready to mingle.
Yeah, I think, he's an alum, obviously. He's been in the cast for a long time. Now he's tattoo-less or going tattoo-less, added a little bit of weight. He's trying to have like another moment where he's leading man, good looks or something. I thought her involvement was a little forced. To be honest with you, she's been on one episode of SNL. It was mid. She kissed him as Jasmine from Aladdin. I didn't think it was like she was big enough to have the sort of stage she had at the 50th. Did you?
What?
I know we work here, but she's not SNL 50th.
I mean, yes and no. Someone played the butt bongos on her. Like, she wasn't like the butt bongos. So those exes was there. Also, back to Ryan Reynolds. His ex was there. Scarlett Johansson. They'd been married for years.
That's right.
And now they're both hanging out.
Are you curious what she has to say? She's now an SNL wife. She's Colin Jost's wife. She is part of the inner circle, the inner family of SNL, because Colin Jost's head writer. He's the Weekend Update guy for one of the longest tenures. What do you think she thinks, and why has she stayed out of the fray? It's almost like when you're at SNL, you don't want to get into the tawdry tabloid stuff. She's like, I'm an exalted.
She definitely doesn't.
She doesn't, right?
If anything, remember how if any news story comes out, kind of linked to her, she'll come out like defend herself, or remember there was that AI story, and she had to come out and say that's not me, even though we all knew it wasn't about her. And then there was some sort of Siri voice that sounded a bit like hers, and she had to come out and say that's not my voice. And it's just like it feels like she has to like respond to a lot of these things,
Yes.
but she hasn't responded to this one.
Yeah, and I'm just shocked. It doesn't even seem like anyone shoved a microphone in her face to be like, what do you think of Ryan Reynolds? He's the biggest story in the world. Maybe she's just not going to answer or put herself in a position on a red carpet to answer those questions, but I'm surprised no one's asked her, right? Like,
True.
what's this guy like? Does he yell at people? Seems to yell at Justin Baldoni. Did he ever yell at your dad or anything?
Behind closed doors, insiders say Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds' marriage is buckling under the weight of competing empires. What once bonded them, mutual success, is now the very thing tearing them apart. Success has become their biggest problem, and it's created a rift that may be impossible to repair. Blake's career has exploded in recent years. She's not just acting, she's building an empire. Between her Betty Buzz mixers, her beauty brand, and a string of film commitments lined up months in advance, Blake is operating in non-stop power mode. But that ambition, insiders say, has left Ryan feeling pushed aside. While he applauds her publicly, behind the scenes he's reportedly frustrated by her refusal to compromise. Ryan feels like he's always the one expected to adjust, says one source. The tension reached a breaking point last year when Blake allegedly issued an ultimatum over Ryan's filming commitments. Cut back on roles and spend more time at home. Yet at the same time, she was signing on for 3 major projects that would keep her away for months. That double standard, insiders reveal, sparked explosive fights, especially when both were offered major roles that required filming in different countries. Ryan eventually backed down and delayed his project, but according to sources, he was left furious, manipulated, and cornered. Ironically, Ryan's success once strengthened their marriage. His Deadpool franchise, Aviation Gin, and Mint Mobile empire helped cement their image as Hollywood's ultimate power couple. But as Blake's ambitions soared, that supportive dynamic reportedly morphed into competition. It's like they can't celebrate each other's wins anymore, a longtime friend confides. Every new project becomes another scheduling war. Now their marriage resembles 2 powerful brands operating independently rather than a family unit. Separate projects, separate travel schedules, and childcare arrangements built to minimize overlap. Insiders say the couple is living parallel lives, crossing paths only when their calendars force them together.
That's not it. When Lively caught strep throat, Mr. Baldoni offered a gift to connect her with an expert he had on retainer to help her with her probiotics and to combat the sickness. When Miss Lively went to fill out the privacy forms, she saw that the expert was not what Mr. Baldoni had represented to her, but instead was a weight loss specialist. Miss Lively felt once again that Mr. Baldoni was shaming her for her body and her weight. So wait, I didn't even really realize this. This whole thing was because the doctor had that on the form? So you thought that's just what this means? I don't know about you guys. There are a lot of doctors and specialists who say one thing on their board, but actually are responsible and specialize in multiple different other areas. So just because she gave you a form, maybe everyone's trying to get Ozempic. So she made a form for her business to make that more of a priority so people would come do that. And then maybe she also does a lot of other stuff because, I don't know, life coach, health experts, doctors, they can handle multiple things. Just like you, Miss Lively, I'm sure, can handle being an actor, director, producer, etc. You're going to put them all in every form you put out there? I bet you put actress first. And then someone's going to say, well, you're not a director. And then you got to go send all your text messages and get your dragons to tell them. I mean, are you kidding me? This is now, as we look at it and look at what he's actually being accused of. It's just lies. It's just complete hearsay, assumptions, weird negative stuff. And as we go through it, you actually, and here's all the nice from Ryan Reynolds, which I got a lot more thoughts about. We'll talk to live, just how manipulative this actually is to, and it was, Ariadne said it really well, Little Miss Jacob. Like, Ryan left him hanging and then only responded when he needed something. But then Ryan was also really using his kids in a manipulation tactic to get what he wanted as well. Oh yeah, make a family. I'm sure his family means the world to him, but the whole thing, again, it's so manipulative. Anyway, so here it is. Lively shares with Baldoni she has strep throat. She's been sick like numerous times, and it makes me wonder, was she really? Anyway, she's been sick all the time. They're humoring her and trying to make sure. But then Baldoni offers to send her some amazing gut health protocols that help after antibiotics. Look, I will be honest about Justin. The dude's ripped. The dude clearly knows how to keep his body in check, health, all that stuff. I would probably go to Justin for advice on how do I make sure my body's in peak form, because the dude's pretty good looking. I can't deny it. So sure, he knows this stuff and he knows these experts. Lively responds, please, as a result, Baldoni reaches out to his board-certified integrative holistic health coach. Now, that's a lot of buzzwords. I don't know what this actually means, but all I know is I assume that person has multiple hats they wear. I safely can assume that. He connects them. Lively shares that they connected, saying she's incredible. Lively later claimed in her CDRD complaint that this health coach was actually a weight loss specialist, and this was all a ruse for Baldoni to subtly fat shame her. Oh my God. Oh my God. I think this is some deflection. Blake Lively's feeling insecure, and everything she's seeing, she's just now blaming Justin. Now, it's one thing to have this in private and to say, look, I don't like that guy, I don't want to work with him again, and tell people that in private, but you put this in a complaint. You've destroyed this man's life because a form that his holistic coach had, because maybe she wanted to have some more clients come in, because not everyone's Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. A lot of us got to scrap around to figure out how we can get extra income. So maybe she put some forms out that put that on there, and now you're assuming that's how Justin's fat shaming you because he knew what her form said? Can you guys even believe this nonsense? This is absolute.
Blake. Lively and Ryan Reynolds' increasingly independent lifestyles didn't appear overnight. Our exclusive timeline investigation reveals the exact moment Hollywood's golden couple began to unravel. Remember those matching wedding rings they were never seen without? Insiders now say their absence signals a deeper rift that's been brewing far longer than anyone realized. Sources with intimate knowledge confirm that the relationship hit a devastating low exactly 8 months ago during Ryan's blockbuster shoot in Europe. Blake was left essentially a single mother to 4 young children while he was away for 12 straight weeks. The breaking point came when Ryan missed their youngest child's first steps and canceled a planned family visit due to reshoots. What followed was a nuclear-level argument over FaceTime that ended with Blake hanging up and refusing his calls for 3 days. That fight changed everything, says a longtime friend. They've never fully recovered the trust that was broken that night. The timeline becomes even clearer when you track their public appearances. At Blake's film premiere in January, Ryan was noticeably absent, the first major event he'd ever skipped in their marriage. Sources insist this wasn't a scheduling issue, as claimed, but a deliberate choice following another heated argument. Their living arrangements over the past 6 months tell a similar story. Property records show Ryan quietly purchased a $2.3 million Manhattan apartment in February, kept out of the press. It's not officially a separation home, a source notes, but he's been staying there during work trips to the city, sometimes for a week at a time. Even wedding rings have become subtle signals of discord. Fans noticed Blake attending 3 charity events in March without her signature diamond band, while Ryan only wears his when photographers are guaranteed to be present. The final piece came last month at a private birthday celebration for a mutual friend, where attendees described icy tension between the two. They arrived separately, sat at opposite ends of the table, and left in different cars. Everyone was whispering about it, confirms one guest.